Mike Gills, Data Corruption. The cycle of corruption. Right. Who controls corruption? How are we going to beat it? If you're going to beat corruption, you're going to find its head. Now, I'm telling you, I've identified the head. And the head is these large law firms that are in each of our states. Right. That produce lawyers, politicians, judges, lobbyists. Let me explain how the cycle works and how if we don't fix this, corruption won't end. And we're talking an industry in the billions. I believe corruption is the largest industry in our country. All right. These large law firms have lawyers. When you need representation, you need help, you go to these lawyers, sometimes at the worst of times and your most vulnerable of times. Well, these bastards cheat you and rob you. Right. They don't represent you. They represent that firm. And whatever that firm's agenda is what's going to happen to you. Now that they've cheated you, what do? Because I get calls all the time. My lawyer won't listen to me. He won't take my calls. What do? You go to the Professional Conduct Committee. Except for that whole committee is made up of those same lawyers that come out of those same law firms. I know. I've been there. Roadblock. All right. I'll report this criminality to the judge. I will tell this judge what this lawyer is doing. Except for, you know what you're going to find out? That judge comes out of one of those law firms. And he's already in on the deal. They stop you again. Now what? The PCC? The judge? I know. The judge is acting criminal. I will go to the JCC, Judicial Conduct Committee. Guess what? Right. Judges that come out of the same law firms. They stop you again. When you think about it, the science of corruption is exact. It has to be. You can't have a leak. You can't have a way out, which is why I keep probing and climbing the ladder. All right. So now we just went to the JCC to find out they're the same lawyers out of the law firm. Now what? This is criminal. I'll go to the Attorney General's office in the state. Guess what? Those lawyers, and I'm telling you, an unbelievable amount of lawyers. In my state, the vast majority of the AG's office comes out of McLean Law Firm. In fact, 4 of the last 5 AGs out of that same law firm. So it's a bunch of lawyers out of those same law firms. You're dead there. In fact, now the AG targets you. Listen, what I'm telling you, I've showed you and lived through and took my camera with you to show you. All right. Now what? Well, go to the FBI. And you see me do it. And the U.S. Attorney represents the FBI. They're the ones who prosecute. You've seen me go to the U.S. Attorney, only to find out, remember Kakavas? He comes out of Wiggins and Norrie. Right? Farley, he worked with Kakavas. Dead again. Every criminal aspect within that state. Politicians, I don't know, I'll go to a senator, like Senator Ayotte. Oh, she comes out of McLean. Senator Shaheen, she owns the law firm with the godfather of corruption in my state, Bill Shaheen, who only happens to be the lobbyist for the insurance and the opioid industry. Lobbyists. Lobbyists is how they get paid. What do you think the value of controlling the laws and state regulations in a state to billion-dollar industries such as pharmaceutical, such as healthcare, such as insurance? If you could go to them and say, listen, we control the regulations, we control the law enforcement, you get to pay us. You know what you pay us for? Protection. That's right. You act corruptly, you come to us. And you know what the lobbyists do? Listen, those law firms, these industries hire them as lobbyists, such as Bill Shaheen. That's the big payoff. You represent them in there. How does a public servant become rich? That's how. You see, This is a cycle. And this cycle goes on and on. We just turned around and had Senator Ayotte just got beat. Shaheen criminally backed Hassan and leveraged Aaron Day to get Ayotte beat. So this corruption just changed. Let's think what this impact was. Nationally, Trump just said yesterday, one vote was off healthcare. Meaning, if Hassan doesn't get in and Ayotte does, even though Ayotte's completely corrupt, the corrupt just turned around and influenced healthcare, whether you have it or you don't. No, whatever side you're on the issue, the corrupt shouldn't be controlling the vote. Mike Dill, State of Corruption.